Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, I was planning on recording some of this outside today, but it was raining. And I'm whispering because I'm in the exact same room as Mrs. Sujano, who's currently sleeping and about 5 feet away from me. Anyways, we're first talking about Microsoft, and this is a very weird one, and maybe I'm out of touch. If I am, let me know in the comments below. But a lot of Xbox fans are not happy with Microsoft potentially bringing games to other systems. Now, we talked about one of these games the other day, and that was Starfield. And it turns out that Hi-Fi Rush, Gears of War, and even Indiana Jones are rumored to be multi-platform. There's a very good article over on VGC, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Video Games Chronicle, depending on how you want to interpret that. And I'll drop a link to it in the description below. It sums everything up very well. But to sum things up here at a high level, it turns out that some content creators are not happy with Microsoft's decision to make Xbox exclusive games non-exclusive. They're saying it's going to destroy the purpose of the Xbox. Well, I can kind of understand that. At the same time, I am not a fan of exclusives. I think it makes more sense to make more games available to more people. So I guess let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. If the Xbox had no console exclusives, would you be tempted to buy an Xbox? If the PS5 had no console exclusives, would you be tempted to buy a PS5? And if the Nintendo Switch had no console exclusives, would you actually buy a Switch? And speaking about ports to other consoles, next up we're talking about Elden Ring. And it turns out there may be an Elden Ring version in the works for Android. So Reuters is reporting that Tencent of all companies bought the licensing rights to Elden Ring for mobile. Apparently it's in the works for iOS and Android. If you wanted to read the article, drop a link in the description below. If Elden Ring comes to Android and iOS, this would be absolutely huge for the game. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I'm hoping it's not going to be riddled with microtransactions and a whole bunch of nonsense. And speaking about Android, next up we're talking about Sega Saturn Emulation on Android. But not with Yabis and Shiro, with another emulator. So this one is called Saturn.emu, which is made by Robert Broglia, who makes a whole bunch of other emulators on Android, including SNES 9X EX Plus. And this update is very interesting. It changes the internal core from Yabayusi, I think I said that right, probably not, to Mednafin. Now this update adds in 64-bit support and a whole bunch of different options. If you are curious about it, I'll drop a link to the GitHub in the description below and feel free to check it out. You can buy this emulator on the Google Play Store, or you can pick up the APK for free right on GitHub. And speaking about Sega Saturn and also GitHub, next up we're talking about Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And there's a decompilation project of the game over on GitHub. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Now it's worth pointing out that this is currently a work in progress. It's not completed just yet. But at the same time here, they have made a ton of progress and things are shaping up great. Moving on, and this one is a quick one, but a fun one. If you're a fan of Mega Man on the NES, you might be excited to know that it's being ported to the SNES, unofficially. This work is being done by Infidelity. I'll drop a link to their Twitter account in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. They've done a number of ports, including stuff like Metroid. And speaking about the SNES, last up here we're talking about Majuo King of Demons. I might have completely mispronounced that one. Anyways, Retrobit is working on a physical version of this game, porting the game, or translating rather, from Japanese to English. Pre-orders are currently up on their website for a whopping $60, and the pre-orders are open until March. And on a side note here, if you already own a copy of the game, there are some English patches available over on romhacking.net. I'll drop a link in the description below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a few things today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of them in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.